The Mitsubishi Motors Australian International 3-day event, held uniquely in the heart of Adelaide each year, is one of the biggest events in the Australian calendar.
I've been very excited for this event for a long time.
Being in the city is very unique. That's not just unique in Australia, it's unique worldwide.
The only 4-star 3-day event in the Southern Hemisphere, some of the very best riders have travelled to South Australia to compete for this prestigious title.
Here, it's different, very electric.
3 challenging phases. Day 1, the dressage, often described as ballet on horseback.
It's a massive step up.
Day 2, the thrills and spills of the cross-country, is a real crowd puller, and Mike Etherington-Smith has set a great course.
You have the crowd screaming and it gets your adrenaline up higher.
It's just a goosebump moment.
Day 3, the final day, the show jumping. Pure enjoyment, pure ecstasy. A prestigious roll of honour starting here back in 1997, with only 4 riders having won this title twice in 21 years. Chris Burton, Shane Rose, Stuart Tinney and Wendy Schaefer. But the question on everyone's lips is, who will walk away with the 2018 title? Hello and a very warm welcome to the Mitsubishi Motors Australian International 3-day event. This unique event, set in the capital of South Australia, Adelaide City, welcomes some of the very best riders to compete in the only 4-star in the Southern Hemisphere.
Four-star eventing is really the top level of our sport, so there's a few around the world, but it's the level of the Olympic Games and the World Championships, so it's the pinnacle of our sport, really.
Being one of only the 6 events of this level in the world, it is very fortunate for us that everyone has created this and kept it going. Now we no longer have Jill, and that those of us based in the Southern Hemisphere have a chance to compete at this level so that we have some idea of where we stand against the guys in the Northern Hemisphere.
I think just at Adelaide, the crowds that come in on the Saturday, you know, our horses don't see those sort of crowds at the shows leading up to it. They're just massive, and they sort of come down the hill to the lake and they see the crowd and they go, you know, what are we doing? You've got to get them on the job, and having your horse trust you and, you know, not being distracted by the crowds.
It's a bit of deja vu. This is the 4th year in a row I've been here with my horse Clifford, and it's what I work towards the whole year, is to get here. It's a fabulous event that lets us Australian riders do a 4-star without having to leave Australia.
Very excited to be here, very cool event. Massive shout out to Mitsubishi for funding this event and to continue their sponsorship. Undoubtedly is why the event continues, and it's so important for us to have the event continuing, especially for us New Zealand riders.
The first day of competition is the Pride's Easy Feed Dressage Day, and the first we see into the main arena, Emma Bishop and CP Izzy Mayaki, and I'm joined by former Olympic medalist Sonia Johnson.
And Emma is known for doing a very good test. She started in the half pass, kept it really rhythmical, soft, and then a quick change of bend where the horses are inclined to say, really? But Emma had it nailed, and then in another now quick change of bend, and still the horse stayed consistent.
Well, a lovely test from Emma Bishop, CP Izzy Mayaki, 31.5, and she held the lead for a long time until this young lady came into the arena, Katie Taliana and Travaga II.
Presenting a lovely picture. Those changes, the judge is looking for the straightness, the jump, which Katie certainly gave. And then we come up the centre line to our final halt, and straight, and then the curse of riders that step sideways.
Well, a great test from Katie Taliana, Travaga II. 31.0 saw her at the top of that leaderboard. Very close at the top, and less than 10 seconds on the cross-country separate the top 8, with some former winners in there as well. It's certainly not going to be a dressage competition. Day 2 is the Qantas Cross Country Day, the one the crowds all enjoy and one that we're very much looking forward to. Set in the East Parklands, they run from Victoria Park over the main roads, and what a fabulous course has been set for 2018. Mike Etherington-Smith, the course designer for this year, has set a fabulous course, and they start in Victoria Park. There's 31 numbered fences. It's a very twisty course. It is 11 minutes and 27 seconds, the optimum time. We'll have a look at a few of those key fences as we go around this course. The weather conditions absolutely perfect. And the first of those combinations is the Jill Rolton Memorial Fence at 5A and 5B. A very big box table running on down to a triple arrowhead brush. This fence at 9, the Bates Saddles Advanta Corners, is one that had the riders scratching their heads. What will the striding be for the combinations? We'll wait and see. Right out at the far end of the course, it is up to the next combination fence that we see. It is at the water, the Mitsubishi Lake Brush, fence 16. A triple arrowhead brush into the water and out onto dry ground before Stag Corner. Back up to Stag Corner for the first time in a couple of years. Some really testing fences up there. Acute angles that will require accuracy and bravery, as too will the RM Williams Ducks on the return home. The last fence, fence 31 of the 31 numbered fences, sees them home. 11 minutes 27 seconds, 6,527 metres. Mike Etherington-Smith has set a good one. The first we see, Sonia Johnson, is Stuart Tinney, former winner here, Warhawk.
With Stuart's experience, we all expected he would show us how to ride this tricky combination. So we were watching carefully, and none of us hoped to see that. So Stuart decided to walk home and save Warhawk for another day.
Well, by the powers of TV, Sonia Johnson, Misty Isle Valentino. This is your round, lying sixth after dressage on 34.6.
Yes, I was very pleased with him. I made a mistake out there. He's only a young horse. He is inclined to have a debate as to who's walked the course. So at this fence, it is a decent sized drop. I'm very much in favour of slipping my reins down that side fence so that I don't get out of balance. And then we came to the fence, which no one at this stage has actually jumped. Unfortunately, when I said wait, he thought I said halt. So I was very pleased that he answered my question and then went forward. Coming down here, I thought this, as did Mike E.S., was a real question, this triple brush. And he's a funny horse. He won't actually walk through a puddle to have a drink. So he doesn't seem to mind jumping in though. This walked is quite a short one stride, but jumping out of the water, Mike, of course, had got the distance just perfect. This was my sad moment on the course. Just as Stuart didn't keep control at the right side, neither did I keep control of the right side. He had no idea he was supposed to get there. So back to the drawing board for us, and let's sort out these arguments.
Well, a great round from Sonia Johnson, Misty Isle Valentino. 20 jumping penalties, a handful of time penalties. 67.8 sees them go into fourth place.
What I love about Adelaide is they have done such a good job of maintaining the heritage of this place. You're in somewhere that's vibrant, alive with character. And the opportunities for food, they're great. The opportunities for shopping, it's everything you could possibly want. Plus the advantages of these beautiful parklands and wonderful old buildings. So it's great. A four-star horse is a unique creature. It's something that if you're lucky enough to have one in your life, you feel really special. Freddie's strengths are he's very handsome. I've never actually had a handsome one before. I always say that if he was a bloke, I'd marry him because he's just so gorgeous. I wouldn't be my age and still doing it and driving across that damn Nullarbor if I didn't love it. So, yeah, I'm very lucky I can still do it. I'm very lucky I have a lovely horse. And while I have beautiful horses and I'm having fun, sorry, you're going to keep seeing me back here.
Hi, I'm Katie Taliana and I'm riding Trafalgar 2 here at Adelaide 3 Devon. This event is just so different to every other event that we go to. We can go to the shops, we can go into the mall, we can go to Rundle Mall. It is, you know, the food is delicious. We can just go down the street and it's not just in the middle of nowhere like our normal events. Oh, my bond with my horse is indescribable. He is my best friend and I could never part with him because he's just a machine and he tries for me. He would try to the end of the earth for me. I love what I do. I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't have an office job. You know, we all work really hard, we work long hours, but we wouldn't do it if we didn't love it.
Well, we've heard from the overnight leader. Let's see how they fare on the cross country. Katie Taliana, Trafalgar the second, start in first place on 31.0.
So coming down to this influential 9 ABC, nicely over AB, and Katie made that look pretty simple.
Well, down to the Horston Hollow at 13, an influential fence on course.
Oh, poor Katie, leaving the leg. Horse is completely fine. Katie will go home hitting herself for that.
So just dropping down the hill, Sonia, I mean, you need a lot of balance coming down the hill, but she just looked a little bit flat here.
Yes, you had a very long gallop to the fence before, and the horses can get flat, so it's up to the riders to re-establish the balance.
Well, the overnight leader after the dressage is out, but Amanda Pottinger, just kidding, they're very formidable across the country, lying in 8th place after dressage on 34.8.
And over the 9A, looks good, and she's really kicking and moving, and then her horse thought it would go right, but Amanda was onto it.
Well, she made that happen, that's for sure. Jumping the first of those apexes onto the second. She guided Just Kidding to that fence. Daughter, of course, of the wonderful former international and Olympic rider Tinks Pottinger. Tinks, who's been teaching and helping Amanda for years, and experience showing then.
Yes, and again, this is another example of cross-country riding doesn't have to be pretty, it has to be safe and effective, and that's what Amanda's certainly demonstrating.
Well, interestingly, for 2018, Sonia, there are 24 competitors here, 14 first-time four-star horses and 9 first-time four-star riders. So it's a really big open playing field for everybody.
It is, but the great thing was the course is so well set up that we can all come home and all the horses were safe and happy.
Well, a very good round for Amanda Pottinger. Not many time penalties, 47.2. She takes the lead in her very first four-star. Jess Woods now, just a Manzana. They started 9th on 35.9.
Coming to Stag's Corner, another very influential fence. 4 very positive strides over that, and word has got back to camp that the 3 strides to C is difficult, so she's made the decision to land, hook left, then back to the right. Slow, but much safer.
Well, interestingly there, it is a 3-part combination ABC. She took that alternative line, but didn't cross her tracks. She got 50 penalties out on Corso, and she finishes on 102.7 and drops down a few places. Andrew Cooper, Hunters Hill. This wouldn't be his first rodeo, and he's no stranger to Adelaide, and certainly no stranger to the 4-star.
Coming to the now definite bogey fence, over A, stayed quite positive through there, but the right drift starting, and poor old Andrew's in trouble.
Well, jumping the wrong side of the red flag there, he's going to have to come round and represent.
And we can see that he's riding with a mascot on his shoulder. That is Peppermint Fred. Peppermint Fred was named for Jill Rolton's great horse Peppermint Grove, and he's a mascot to help raise funds for cancer research. So it's something that many of the riders wore with great pride.
Well, Andrew Cooper going very well with Hunters Hill up at Stag Corner, this influential fence, the left-handed corner on 4 strides the table, just about managing to get those strides back to that second left-handed corner. He's living by the seat of his pants.
Coming into the water, this caused a lot of trouble. You had to jump to the left and then be very patient, but unfortunately Andrew didn't get the line back to the right, to the C element, and paid the penalty with the glance off.
First time 4-star for Hunters Hill, and he'll be learning a lot around this course, Sonia.
I don't think there was a horse and rider combination out there that didn't learn.
Well, coming to the final fence, it's the Qantas final fence, the 31st fence on the course, gives Hunters Hill a well-deserved pat, goes into 11th on 107.0.
The Adelaide Hills, they're an amazing part of Adelaide. I was fortunate enough to live in the Adelaide Hills back in 2012 when I bought my first 4-star horse here. It's just a beautiful part of Australia up there, and the wines are second to none. So the nature of the Adelaide Hills, being so close to the city, makes it really accessible for anyone that's down in Adelaide to get up there and have a good look around. So the 4-star for us is, it's what we strive to get to. I started the horse. I bought him for $1,000. He's a little thoroughbred. He's pretty hot. He, likes to be fancy, but sometimes can be very, very naughty. You've got to love it. It's a tough sport. I still only am young, but the highs and lows of it that come with it, we do it because we love it, and it's a great sport.
Hi, I'm Emma Bishop and I'm riding CP Issey Miyake here at Adelaide. One of the best things about coming to the Barossa Valley is that it is home to many of the best reds. My husband is a red wine drinker and he's very excited to be here in this lovely city. I respect what I do very much because it is a dangerous sport, but when you do it well, it is very rewarding, and I haven't yet completed a 4-star competition, so to finish the competition firstly for me would be just the best thing.
Well, we've heard from the young lady Emma Bishop from New South Wales, CP Issey Miyake. We've seen the overnight leader go out after cross-country. That was Katie Taliana and Trafalgar II. What can this young lady do?
So all the pressure on Emma as she comes down to Stag Corner. Beautifully over A, really positive ride to be. And then she gave it a crack, but Issey got there and just said, not sure what the question is, Em. So little pat, take your time. No point winging it now. And she comes round and pops over it beautifully.
Well, she's yet to complete a 4-star competition, but she'll be hoping for better around here today. She's had 20 jumping penalties.
Slightly sticky in. And again, another one that's missed the line. Too far to the right.
Well, that is her second refusal. Carrying 40. She can afford one more refusal before she's eliminated, but she's safely through the water for the final time, and she'll cross back over into Victoria Park. She's now back into the main arena on Qantas Cross Country Day. This will be a welcome sight for her, yet to complete a 4-star cross country, and she's safely home. CP Issey Miyake, 99.0 into 9th. This is the line you were talking about, Sonia.
Yes, you had to be left to that first duck, angling back to the right.
Well, Emma Bishop and CP Issey Miyake are home to complete. She'll be thrilled with that as we now turn our attention to Gemma Tinney and Anna Perner. Starting in 12th place on 36.6, the daughter of Stuart Tinney, and Stuart in fact has ridden Anna Perner around the 4-star here at Adelaide.
Yes, a bit of a bonus going out knowing that your horse is capable, and really nicely over A and B, just taking her time. That looked like it was easy.
It looked like it was meant to be. Designed on 4 or 5 strides, the 3 talking to the course designer, but many have gone on 6 and 3, 6 and 4. There's been huge variance.
And Gemma did a great job there. At the C element, the horse started to wobble and say, "Where do I go?" Gemma said, "You go through the flags, please." So into stag corner, very steady over that element. I'm sure she didn't mean to trot that, but this is where quick thinking will pay off. She knew she didn't have the power to get to what is a big, wide corner, so she took her time, did a circle, and a little bit of time is always less expensive than a 20.
Well, her father won this title back in 2009 and again in 2011. Will she make her name on that Roll of Honour list? Gemma Tinney and Anna Perner crossed the line, 83.4 into 6th place.
Oh, no, it is a lot of pressure and there wasn't much relaxing yesterday. I'm glad I got through it, so I didn't think for a second that I was going to be the one that would get home. My father, he's been a massive influence on me. He's a little tough as well, I feel, but it's good because I need it and because I want to go well.
With the training of Gemma on the way to the event, we got to work really hard at the dressage and really hard at the cross country and the show jumping. So it's a lot to learn, a lot to teach the horse. And Gemma's just young, so she's just learning it all. So it takes a while. I'm still learning, and I'm a lot older than she is.
I've been very excited for this event for a long time and I'm very excited that I've gotten this far.
Well, welcome back, and the next we see on the cross-country course will be the combination, and there's always somebody there lying in 24th of the 24 numbered competitors. It is Emily Gay and Jocular Vision.
Emily does a great job with this horse. He gets very worried about atmosphere.
He's a real character in the dressage. Apparently Adelaide is the only event that he really plays up, but he was extremely naughty in the dressage, but one of the very best cross-country horses.
Yes, he is. Emily's produced him herself and she knows how to do the job. So, big kick over there, but she pulled out and got the line. And that was what so many riders didn't do, is take the time there.
Well, leaving the East Parklands, you can just see the look of determination and just how much she's enjoying her cross-country round with Jocular Vision as she comes through the final water into the main arena, onto the last fence, and she wasn't going to be too far away from that optimum time either. And interestingly, for a short while, she went from last into first with a few of the 50 penalties that were awarded. They were later taken away, and she finishes in 3rd place. The 2016 champion, it is Hazel Shallen and Willingham Park Clifford. They start the cross-country phase in 5th place on 33.9.
That was a very positive 3 strides required across there. To do it well, you needed to put that little angle on and then nicely over the big drop. Nice wide range so that she can stay behind and keep him straight.
They're such a formidable partnership, these two. They were convincing winners in 2016. He's jumped good clear rounds in the show jumping. He didn't jump clear in his first year, and as neat as any through that combination at 9.
Yes, it's a great partnership. You can see their years of experience together just really working. Unfortunate to take that with his right knee.
Well, he was given 50 penalties there. They were later taken away for jumping the wrong side of the flag, but the ground jury had a look at the video evidence and it was deemed that she did jump, and I'm sure we'd all agree, jump the right side, and relief for Hazel. Coming down to the water for the final time.
Yep, so another one that jumped well left and knew that you had to stay left to come right, and their years of experience made that look very simple.
Ears pricked, Willingham Park, Clifford, they go into the main arena, and this combination, they've had considerable success here. 4 riders have won it twice, but not 5. Will Hazel Shannon change history? Lauren Brown, Sky's the Limit, starting third place after dressage on 32.3. Down at the Horselands Hollow, but they run to the left of that last part, so 20 penalties added, Sonia.
Yes, Lauren was very cross with herself, not keeping control of the left side, but very quick to come around and do the option.
So it is 20 penalties on the card for Sky's the Limit as they pop through the Adelaide welcome home. The final fence 31, 87.9, drops them down 4 places into 7th.
Don't you just love the joy on these riders' faces across the finish line?
Absolutely. Hayley Freelich with a Class Action LP, one of only 2 riders with 2 horses in the 4-star. She sets off on her cross-country campaign.
And she made it past the influential fence 9, coming down now nicely to another fence that has caused problems and just didn't hold him on the line enough.
Well, just coming back towards home, 27, 28, 29. It's the Advertiser brush rolls and a lot of turning here, Sonia, on tired horses.
It was certainly a fence that made us concentrate towards the end of the course, and we had to be on our game.
Well, just jumping the last fence and the look of it, pure enjoyment, pure ecstasy. Hayley Freelich, Class Action LP, 81.3. They go into 5th place. Maddie Wilson, I'm Bruce, no stranger to the Australian International, 14th place on 37.5.
Only a very short rider, but Maddie makes it happen, and unfortunately the slip, but that is the trust that we develop with these horses.
I'm Bruce, still ears pricked as he jumps through the Adelaide welcome home fence. I'm Bruce, 99.5. They go into show jumping in 8th. Well, it's been a very controversial day so far. The leaderboard after cross-country, Amanda Pottinger, just kidding, 47.2. She's got a fence in hand over the 2016 champion, Hazel Shannon. Willingham Park Clifford on 51.5. Looking down that leaderboard, though, it's all open and anyone's game. Emma Bishop, well, second after dressage, now in 9th, with Jess Woods, Andrew Cooper and Renee Faulkner making up the top 12. Well, great day's action and great to see welfare of the horse paramount here at the Australian International, and they've got all the fans, they've got all the facilities they need, Sonia.
You've no idea how cold it gets in there. We have a bit of a joke. Everybody can get wet, not just the horses.
Amongst the many attractions here at the Australian International 3-day event, there were course walks with the stars. And amongst many top riders, Shane Rose, the former winner back in 2004 and 2015, gave his perspective to many people that joined the course walks on a rider's view, and it was enjoyed by equine and canine exclusively. The Horselands CCI 2-star, well, a competition that ran alongside the 4-star and the 3-star that we'll see a little bit later on, was not problem-free. Falls around the course and problems dotted all around from start to finish made it for a very interesting competition. Shane Rose and the 6-year-old Easy Turn, well, they made light work. They were third after dressage on 34.9. Emma Mason, Aramati Fox, 34.4, their dressage score in second. But the leading young riders, Samuel Jeffrey and JB Calypso, made even lighter work, 33.1. And we'll go into the show jumping in first place. Shane Rose, with the 6-year-old Easy Turn, had a fabulous show jumping round to clinch the title. It wasn't to be for this young man. Samuel Jeffrey, JB Calypso, they had a number of fences down and dropped down to 23rd from the overnight first position. So the results, it is Shane Rose, Easy Turn, take the Horselands Seaside 2-star with Emma Mason and Stuart Tinney making up the top 3. The RM Williams CIC 3-star, well, again, a competition that is hugely respected and one that came into the competition just a few years ago. Ultimate Velocity in first place after dressage on 46.0, with Shane Rose already in first place in the two-star. He was riding full of confidence. Callum Buzak, Batavia Cheval, lying in second on 49.9, put the finishing touches to a very good round, and they will be up amongst the leaders, as too would Andrew Cooper and Oaks Onyx, lying in third, 57.6. Show jumping day, another influential show jumping day. Shane Rose had one fence down, but it was enough to clinch the title of the RM Williams CIC 3-star, and it is another win. 2-star win, 3-star win. He's won them all across the board. Callum Buzak and Andrew Cooper making up the top three.
Yeah, really happy with the horses the weekend. I came here to get a good performance, and they performed really well, and to come home with the win's a bonus, so really happy.
So much going on at the Australian International. It was the Thomas Foods International CSI 1-star World Cup jumping qualifier that happened throughout the few days. And we saw many riders tackling, again, John Valance's huge course in the main arena. And the first we see of those is Adam Metcalf and MEC Aston. Or maximum height of these fences, 1.60 m. John Valance has once again set a great track. Now, I saw you jumping around a number of 150 tracks, but this is something else.
Yes, it certainly is. I find the show jumps look quite scary at that height, but the fact they fall down actually scares me more.
All clear so far as he jumps the last. It's a total of 9 after 2 rounds. He stays in first place, so really has put the pressure on those still to come. Erin Boswell and Quiro lying in first place with a total of 4. But as we know, Sonia, things can always go wrong.
I saw Erin sitting there mentally rehearsing the course. She had it nailed. And then, as can happen to even the best, she completely loses her track and canters past. You can see the anguish on her face. This is an important competition, and she will beat herself up for that mistake for a long time.
And also has the fence down just to put the icing on the cake. So it is 4 penalties for the fence down, 4 for a circle as well. She finishes on 16 and drops down from first into 5th place. An amazing competition for Adam Metcalf in his first World Cup, and we caught up with him.
Yeah, absolutely wrapped. Wrapped for everyone involved, the owners. Just happy to be a part of a show this big, it's amazing.
Give a round of applause, everybody. That was great jumping, Adam Metcalf. Great round, great competition.
Well, whilst the show jumpers enjoy their lap of honour, it is course walk time for the 4-star riders. The crux of the battle is about to unfold. John Valance and his course is one that will require bravery, accuracy and really athletic jumping. So join us after the break for all the action. Welcome to the final day. Before the horses show jump, they have to be presented in front of the ground jury for the final horse inspection to make sure they're sound and fit to take on the last stage. 11 horses presented for the final horse inspection, but it was between 2 young ladies at the top, Amanda Pottinger and Hazel Shannon, that will be battling it out for the 2018 victory.
I guess I'm always nervous. I'd be worried if I wasn't nervous. I think it's nothing compared to yesterday though. It's relieved yesterday's over, and Clifford's pulled up really well and he's probably ready to go around again actually, but he's a good show jumper and I know he'll try 100% for me, and I'll just do the best job I can.
You know, that was the longest cross-country track he and I have done yesterday, so I don't know how tired he's going to be. I also don't know how he's going to cope with the heat because we're forecast for 30+ degrees today. So, you know, there's a lot of unknowns. It's a big atmosphere arena, so I just have to take it as it comes, really.
The final day welcomed huge crowds to the main arena. It's the Thomas Foods International Jumping Day, and an influential one it's going to be. The first we see, the powers of TV. Sonia Johnson, Misty Al Valentino, lying in fourth place on 67.8.
One of those rails you blame yourself for, knowing you went a little bit against his mouth and he just took the rail as a result. I was very surprised to end up with 3 time faults. It is a venue that sucks you into time. You have so much room that we tend not to keep travelling enough, and the time faults are often a major result influencer.
Well, carrying the 8 jumping penalties, 4 for each round. For every second over, it's also a time penalty to add.
He looks very happy. That's something as riders we want to see, is on the last day our horses are still smiling and looking happy in their job.
So it is 8 jumping, 3 time penalties for yourself, Sonia Johnson. Misty Al Valentino, 78.8, takes you into 3rd place. Well, Emily Gray, Jocular Vision, 24th after dressage. They were very good across the country. 67.3 she starts the jumping phase on. In 3rd place overnight. The planks fall, though, early fence.
Having problems with Pedro, as we call him, being scared of the crowds yet again. Em knew this was going to be an issue, and she was working on it with legs and seat as hard as she could to keep him confident. Normally a very, very good jumping combination. Once again, this atmosphere that we get at Adelaide and nowhere else in Australia takes its toll.
Well, another one to pick up a few time penalties as well. Emily Gray, Jocular Vision, they finish on 80.3, drop them down 1 place into 4th. Well, Hazel Shannon, Willinga Park, Clifford, 51.5, lying in 2nd place, 4th appearance here at the Australian International, and former winners back in 2016. First round here in 2015, they didn't jump clear then, but jumped clear in 2016 and 2017, and only 1 pole separating the top 2.
Yes, Clifford is normally a very good jumper. Hazel and Clifford have been into this arena a number of times, so they both know what to expect, but she'd be cursing that rail.
Well, what it does do is it opens up the door, because now having the ability to have 1 fence down, Amanda Pottinger now has 2 fences in hand.
And the trick for Hazel is to put that rail behind her, because she knows that she's made it easier for Amanda to stay in front. So she has to stay very focused and focus on the future, not the past.
Well, coming home with 4 jumping penalties, Hazel Shannon and Willinga Park, Clifford. Great story behind this horse as well. Was up for sale, but Terry Snow came into the forefront and made this happen. And the last goes as well. So it is 2 fences down for Hazel Shannon. Willinga Park, Clifford, they drop on to 59.5. They remain in first for the time being, but it's this young lady in her first 4-star, Amanda Pottinger, and just kidding, on 47.2. She can now afford 3 fences down, but no more.
Taking a rail at fence 4 certainly isn't going to help with your confidence, and he wants to jump a little bit right across his fences.
Well, one of her lives gone. She has 2 fences in hand. She can have 2 more fences down. She's got a long way to go as well.
And this is when Hazel would be really cursing the rail she took, and she'd be on tender hooks now, feeling, will she have another one? And you never wish ill on your friends, but you're so hoping that you just might be the one on the top of the podium.
Well, she's now had her 3rd fence down. She can't afford another, and she's had it. So that's paid chances to Amanda Pottinger, and just kidding means that Hazel Shannon will win for the 2nd time here at the Mitsubishi Motors Australian International 3-day event. Amanda Pottinger and Just Kidding, they complete on 63.2. and will finish in second place. What a competition, and what an Australian International 3-day event. There is Terry Snow congratulating Hazel Shannon on her second victory, but she also becomes the first rider to win on the same horse since the very first running back in 1997.
Oh, it feels good. It feels as good as the first. I almost lost the ride on Clifford a year ago, so if you told me then that I would be in this position, I wouldn't have believed you, because it was very close, and a very generous man stepped in to keep the ride for me, for Terry Snow from Willinga Park. So thank you very much for that, Terry.
And how special is this horse, Clifford? I mean, he's got everything.
He does. He is just got the biggest heart, and I just got a good partnership with him now, and yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's all the horse. He's amazing.
Yeah, so close, but at the end of the day, I've got to be pretty happy. You know, there was, 11 got through to show jumping out of 24. First 4-star, I mean, yesterday was the make or break really, and I was over the moon. Obviously disappointed, but only really disappointed, you know, he's never had 4 rails in his career, so that's a first, but, you know, that's what happens at 4-star, and there was a lot of rails coming down out there, and yeah, it is just one of those things. It's the sport, and, you know, we'll go back and train again for next year, and hopefully we don't do the same thing if we're in the same position.
In regards to my horse, he was great. He was a really good boy. He's only young, he's only 10. He's going to keep getting better, and he is so much fun.
And so to the final leaderboard. Hazel Shannon, Willinga Park, Clifford, 59.5 for Australia. Take the victory for 2018 with New Zealander Amanda Pottinger, first 4-star. Just kidding, in second. Sonia Johnson, Misty Isle, Valentino in third. It's Australia 1, New Zealand 2, Australia 3. Greg Rolton, the chairperson of the board, alongside Craig Norris, the representative of Mitsubishi Motors Australia, presenting the prizes, and the crowd hung on as Hazel Shannon was presented with her Mitsubishi Motors vehicle for the year. A competition that has really been up and down, and we've seen a real change in the leaderboard, but it is Hazel Shannon, the 2018 champion. We hope you've enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you in 2019, 14th to the 17th of November. But from Sonia Johnson and myself, Spencer Sturmey, it's goodbye for now.